Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with another How to Rust. And today we're going to be looking at the new caves that were recently introduced at Devlog 131. Now, in order to see these new caves, you're going to have to go to a pre-release server. And to do that, all you have to do is go into your properties for Rust, go to betas, select pre-release. Now, in order to see the cave system, unfortunately, the majority of them are actually underwater. However, that doesn't mean that you can't see them. All you have to do is go to your F1 console, go to Tools, and just turn the water off. And there you go. Now you can see the entire system because the water doesn't exist. However, when you do go further on down, you'll notice that you still get that dizzy, kind of blurry looking feel. It's annoying, I know, it sucks, but the fact of the matter is you're not actually in the water. It gets rid of the blue and the murkiness, so you can still somewhat see what's going on. You just gotta have to feel your way through it. Now these caves come in 9 different cave formations, ranging in difficulty from easy to hard. Now I will say, running through these caves myself, they're all pretty easy. In certain spots, it is a little difficult. It's hard to find your way sometimes, or if you're trying to get down, sometimes you could slip or make a bad jump and fall a lot further than you intended and end up taking a lot more damage. However, I will say though that most of these caves, as long as you're attempting to move up in some fashion, you're going to find the way out. A lot of them only have one entrance and exit, but there are very few that actually have more than one, such as the largest cave systems where they sometimes frequent up to 3. Now the caves also come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Caves that are smaller will have less areas to build than the larger ones. However, this may end up meaning that the large clans are going to be looking for these large cave systems, since these larger ones house larger build areas, such as the 3x3 or 4x4, and may sometimes feature multiple large building spots, such as the picture shown here. The current build area sizes that I've noticed have been 2x2, 3x3, and 4x4. These areas can also be filled with triangle foundations. However, the building and placeable items must remain in the section off building plot. Now, you could tell it's a section off building plot because it looks like little logs that are sticking out of the ground in a square formation. That's the only spot you can build. While foundations need to be placed within the building plot, floors and walls can be placed outside of this area as long as they have the stability to be placed. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be incredibly useful because the foundations are still required to be in that area. However, you could still make a pretty sizable base, at the very least a second level, by adding those extra floors and walls. Now that's subject to change. Facepunch might realize that and end up changing it. They might remove it. Who knows, but at this point in time, you can currently do it. Also, no large outdoor items are going to be able to fit in these plots. That includes the large furnace and the external walls. Unfortunately, most of the plots in my server that I'm testing this on are underwater. And Facepunch has said that they're going to be fixing this, so that the caves aren't 100% underwater like this. But unfortunately at this time, I have no way to test that. The ones that I did test that were above water, none of it worked unfortunately. So at this point, I'm not expecting them to change that. They probably want to keep that stuff outside of the caves because they don't want the caves to turn into a base themselves, kind of how they used to be before they decided to make these new caves. But as again, it's always subject to change. Last but not least, some caves are going to be filled with little surprises. And some of these caves are going to include the military tunnels. Some of them may have elevators. Most of them, if not all of them, will probably have some form of climbing stones. There's a few that have mine cars and railway systems. A couple of them have jumping beams where you have to jump across. And last but not least, I found one cave that actually had a spike trap in it. Now, whether or not you're actually going to be able to climb out of the spike trap, probably not. It may end up killing you as soon as you land and try to walk around. However, I think that'd be pretty funny. I don't know about you guys, but that's just how I feel. So in closing, here are my final thoughts about the new caves. I think the new caves look really cool. They definitely put a lot of work in trying to make them look nice and adding a lot of the extra details like stalactites, stalagmites, and all that stuff. The vines, all that stuff looks really cool. However, I just don't like the fact that you're required to build in these very few areas. For some of these areas, like the 2x2s, they're actually closing off tunnels that could either A, lead to an elevator, or lead to other tunnels, and you could actually somewhat kind of defend a base or a portion of the cave that you want to defend or live in. However, some of them, such as the medium 3x3 and the large 4x4 areas, they are smack dab in the center of what looks like an open chamber. There really isn't much defending when it comes to this because it's just open. So, in certain regards, I can see it being useful if you can find the right cave that has a 2x2 that closes off an area that might eventually lead to another area where you could put a 3x3 or a 4x4 base. However, the fact that it's not guaranteed to be that way, I don't feel like it's really worth it. Now, of course, the current cave bases that we have before this update, they're broken. They're incredibly broken. You can put so many different layers of walls and whatnot in there that it's almost impossible to raid, and you have to spend hundreds of rockets to do it. However, a lot of people love building in the caves. They love trying to make a base out of this. And I feel like by removing that, they're going to remove something that a lot of players actually really enjoy in this game. And now, I asked one of the developers, and I said, this particular spot with these little logs sticking out of the ground, is this the only place that you guys are going to be building in, or is that temporary? He said it's permanent. Everywhere else that isn't sectioned off with these little logs in that square, you cannot build anything there, which means no chests, no tool cupboards, no small furnaces, nothing. So that being said, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this. As of right now, it's still early. I'm not feeling too good about it. I know it's probably going to kill a lot of people's base designs because a lot of people like building in the caves. And some of the caves don't really offer you a whole lot of room to build in. Such as the 2x2. I have a base design coming up pretty soon where in that 2x2 area, you really can't build a whole lot. There isn't enough room. You could build a 2x2 with squares, or you could build a weird, funky diamond design that I did in the video that you're going to see soon. But all in all, there just isn't enough room to put much there, and that kind of sucks. And the fact that you're inside of this cave, which means there's 9 times out of 10 someone that's going to be there to probably kill you as soon as you either A, come in or come out, and the fact that a lot of these caves only have one entrance, it makes it too susceptible to getting griefed, I think. Or at the very least, if not griefed, then just camped. Someone will just sit outside your cave, and while they can't build there, they can still build a tower a little bit away and just point it straight down at your cave and just wait for you to come out. I don't really like that, and I think it kind of sucks. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. If you guys feel differently, be sure to let me know in the comments section below. It's still brand new, and of course, if you guys want to check it out yourself, I highly suggest you go to either A, someone else's pre-release server, or B, just host your own. There's plenty of information out there on how to do it, and if you guys need me to do a video on it, let me know and I can try to do that as well. So, Sergeant Solj, How to Rust, and we'll see you in the next How to Rust video. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see more great content from Private Astro or myself, please hit that subscribe button and click on any of the videos above. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next Sergeant Solj or Private Astro video. Bye-bye!